Good morning, Susan. Hope you're well. Right, I'm just gonna let's angle some light there. Oh. There we go. Morning, Sue. Morning to everyone else who's joined. Lovely to have you along. Hi, Susan. Yes, indeed. May we have a healthy new year. Okay. Oh, somebody's left us. I hope you've all had a good week. Can't believe it was only 2 weekends ago, or 2 Fridays ago, that it was Christmas Day. Seems like it was ages ago. Oh, it does to me anyway. Seems quite surprising. Okay, we'll just wait for a couple of others to join us. Hi, Sheila. Lovely to have you along. Hello, Moya. Lovely to have you along too. So Sheila is talking to me on WhatsApp. I know Pauline can't make it today. And Portruth is... Oh, good grief, Susan. Well, at least it's done. Wow. Your bay window roof and your porch roof. Have they been really busy? Because everybody I know in the building trade through work has been incredibly busy. Morning, Helen. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're well. Morning, Nicola. Hi, yes, Susan. Was it difficult to get work done because they're really busy, or just difficult to get anybody to come out full stop? Because we have been really, really busy at work. Yeah, they are. I don't know. Well, I don't know if people just got fed up of where they were in their houses, but we've had a lot of work come through on our side of things through structural engineering, and we've got quite long lead times now. February last year till September for your garage to be done. Yes, supplies also, Sue, you're right. Supplies did go into high demand, didn't they? So some of them weren't available. So it's all been very tricky. But as I say, it's surprising how much work has been. Brenda, hello. I hope all is well your end. I was going to drop you a line actually. I still will. Hope you had a good Christmas, everybody. Hello, Nikki. Lovely for you to join us. So what is the time? Well, it is 10 o'clock. I think we've got most of you are on that usually join me. I don't know. Nikki might. I don't know if the other Nikki's joining us today. Maybe she will. Barbara's here too. Excellent. Hello, Barbara. I just have to keep checking my phone for some of you on WhatsApp. It's lovely to have you along as well, Barbara. Hello, Nikki. Good morning. Glad you can join us as well. Okay, so let's make a start. So hello, and thank you for joining me this morning for our first one. Now, I know these cards... Oh, that's great news, Brenda. These cards are pretty straightforward. I know they are. So bear with me. I know they're not that difficult to do, but hopefully they're going to be a little bit of fun. And I'll show you some different things with the painted one, this black card base one. And I'm actually going to change my colours around completely so we can have a look and see what it looks like on silver with silver finishings. We're going to do the white one first, this one, which I was inspired by something I saw. I can't remember where I saw it now. I think it was on the Altenew website or their Pinterest or something. I saw a card that was similar in design, not quite exactly the same, pretty similar, which I kind of liked. And then this one, I've always wanted to do the black card. There are other ways of doing this kind of layout where you actually do it on white card and colour the background. So I thought, well, let's do it this way first, and then later on we can do the other way where we can actually colour all the way around here. But of course, that would take quite a while. And you can leave the pattern in them, the flowers in this case, white. So you can do it the other way, or you can colour the whole lot in. So you have coloured flowers and a coloured background as well. But we'll take a look at that. I thought we'll do this like this, and I will show you. I haven't got very far with it, but I'll show you what we'll be doing in a fortnight's time, just so you can see where I'm going with it, and you can think about the stamps, those of you that don't have the stamps I'm using. So all the stamps I'm using today are coming from the Be Kind set from Hobby Art. I know some of you have got them, and others haven't, but it doesn't really matter. Oops, just losing the stamp there. Any flower will work for both of these. It's fine. Any group of flowers. So whichever stamps you want to use, then that's great. All right. And you don't even have to use flowers, really. I just use them. Any kind of imagery would work on the black one. So it's absolutely up to you to search your stash, which I'm sure if you're like me, you've got loads. So let's get going then. Let's have a look at this one first and see where we go. Now, my ink pad, so I shall just let you know about that. Now, I had everything to the side here, and I have got everything to the side here. My ink pad is wearing out, so I'm actually going to stamp with my stamp press so I can go back over it again. But what we're going to do, first of all, I'll get all that out of the way, is stamp the flower. I very cleverly pushed a die under my nail, which has cut my finger here. So it's quite tender. So if I suddenly leap with my hand, I haven't done anything ridiculous. It's just that it's caught my finger. So what we're going to do then, select the stamp that we're going to use. And I'll get the mask in a minute, but I'm going to be using, which one am I using? This one. So I'm going to be using this stamp. And as I said, we're going to pop it into I'm using the stamp press. You don't have to. It's just that as I said, my pad is drying out and I don't really want to bin it just yet. I want to get every ounce of ink out of that baby. So I'm just going to position it to the side or to the other side if that's where you want to. I've gone with the way the flower is leaning. If your flower is leaning the other way, then put it to the right. Now, obviously, you do whatever you feel is best for you. And position it. If you've got a longer stamp, then position it so it's coming off of the edge. Okay, because it's better. I'm going to have to draw mine in on this one. We could stamp this low, but then the colouring is going to be quite low as well. So it's up to you. Just have a little play. Otherwise, we can draw the stem in. It's not too difficult to do that. So you want it So we're going to colour a strip towards the top here. Okay, so I have a position. Oh, for goodness sakes! The reason I've got the plastic bag under there is in case there's still ink on this stamp, so I don't mark the card. So what we're going to do is position it. You've probably already stamped yours now, so that when we do the coloured band, you've got a little bit of the flower at the top, and you've got the rest of it, the lower part of the flower stamp image coming down the bottom. So give yourself enough room for that. All right, and I think I'm going to go roughly there. So I'm just going to stand up to do my stamping on this one. Yeah, I'm going to go there. And then ink it up. I'm using Distress Oxide to do my colouring. And again, actually, I'm changing the colours on mine, just so you can see a different. And I've no doubt that you guys have got different colours your end as well. So we can all see some different matches. I've only used 2 colours. If you want to add a third one, then please do so. And then I'm just going to stamp that. I've only got one. That hasn't stamped too well. Gosh, I hope this hasn't moved. So I guess we're about to find out whether I'm going to turn mine over and start again. Right. You'll be very pleased to know that I've cleared up my craft room. I know, astonishing. I don't think I've quite finished, actually, because I didn't get into looking at everything in all the drawers I have. And I know I came across something that I completely forgot I had. And I haven't even opened them. Oops. Oh, dear. Anybody else like that? Brenda, out. Yes, it did hurt. I'm assuming you're talking about the dye going down my finger. I know, I don't know how I did it. I just caught one of the sharp edges. Obviously wasn't paying attention. Oh, and it did move. Right. Okay. Well, hopefully you've now got yours sorted out. Make sure the ink is dry. So if you're using VersaFine or VersaFine Clair, or even a very wet archival, make sure your ink is dry before we mask it up, because we're going to need to mask the flowers in a minute. Right. Oh, Brenda, yep. Nikki, me and open stash. I'm so glad I'm not alone, Nikki. And yes, Brenda, it is worse than a paper cut. There was a lot of blood. Right, I'm going to go with that one. Second time lucky. Okay. So let's make sure that gets dry. Take the stamp off because we'll need it for the next one. Just put that aside. Okay. Trying to clear up my mess as I go. You know, that's a first, isn't it? Okay. So we now have this. I'm going to have to just smooth the edges out because I'm obviously on the other side of the card. So where it's trimmed, where it's been cut, there's a little bit of rough edges. So I'm just going to smooth them down a bit. Nikki, did you sort? This is Nikki Berry. Did you sort out your trimmer? I did see your message, but I was really busy in work yesterday. So it's quite tricky to say which is a good trimmer since I'm always having a go at my trimmer. But I know Tonic, Friskers, I think Sizzix do one as well now, don't they? There are a number of good names out there. Yeah, it's really tricky. And what I found is, of course, you can't really try them. So it's not like you can go into a shop and try them and see whether or not they look great. My tonic one cuts really nice and scores really nice. I'm just not 100% convinced that it's always as straight as it could be. But I'm kind of learning to live with that for the minute, rather than, since I have a load of spare blades, rather than oh, and I just did what I didn't do what I told you to do, which was blot the image. Mine's so dry though, my ink. Yeah, I've got away with it. So cover up your plant, your image as best you can, because obviously we don't want any halo situations going on, which I did get with mine, I have to confess. Which I just moved the mask slightly so I could fill in those little bits. So try and line it up as best you can, depending on how you cut it, which of course we should really cut on the line. Don't think I've been quite successful in that. Right, that looks like that's okay. And then what we're going to do is mask off the area that we want to ink. Hope this sticks. So taking some tape and then oh, look at that, the end of the roll. Marvellous. Luckily, I have another one to hand. Right, let's get rid of that. So take some tape. And I'm going to use a piece of copy paper, 2 pieces of copy paper. So this is what I'm about to do. Still got my mask on, haven't I? And now, of course, we've got to get it straight. So I am going to nip down to using my guides on here so that I can get it straight. And I did hold this in place as well. Oh, look, I've done such a good job of clearing up. I've thrown away all my little scraps of tape. Just when you need them. So let's line this up. Sorry about my head getting in the way. I just want to do it high enough so you can see it. Right, there we go. I have to tear some more paper now. And we'll just hold it in place so I'll keep it straight. If you've got a T-rule, which I actually have, we could do it with that as well. Whatever's easiest for you to line up with. I'm just going to detack the tape slightly. Okay, then think about where you might want the colour and then line it up. You've got, oh, actually, I'm going to come down a bit lower than that. I guess the easiest thing to do, Angela, is to put it on the paper first. And then let's have a look. Shall I go slightly higher this time? Let's have a look. I think that's pretty straight. Could always double check it, but it doesn't really matter. Then put it on the other piece of paper. And then line up, deciding which part of the stamp you do and don't want to have white. Do I come down that low? Okay. Right, I'm hoping that that's pretty straight. Oh, really? Okay, right. Well, you carry on getting yours stuck down as it should be. Clearly, my tape isn't sticking as much as I thought it was going to stick. Right, I have it like that. And like this. Okay. Got to be careful. I want it to hold, but I don't want it to rip when I take it back off again. I think this is quite... okay. I'm just going to move this round a bit so I can get to it. Because now we're just going to... I was going to do it on the brown mat. Let's have a look. Here we go. Right, there. Phew. So, taking... oh, Nikki. Is the cat going to start joining in? So what I'm going to do, and you can use anything. You can use your brushes, you can use sponges, you can use these applicators to add your ink. So now what we're going to be doing is adding ink around the card. I tended, if I pull back the original one, I tended to keep the lighter ink around here, around the flower, which of course you don't have to do that at all. But we could have one colour here, and then the other colour coming through that way. Just a mix of however you want it to be on your card. Okay, so we're just going to do that. So I'll start with the lighter colour first. Although this is probably lighter and brighter. I'm just going to take a little bit off on the mat. And then we can come in off the tape. I'm just going to come around a little bit like this. Okay, let's take it over that way then. Bring the colour in how you want them. I'm always taking a little bit off. We can always add some colour. Oh, and we can also go completely mad. What is going on with this? Thank goodness I'm using the oxides. This is a fine example of how not to bring any colour through. There we go. We get that smooth now. So add the colour. Till you're happy with it. Stay flat. Get into all the nooks and crannies. And then when you've finished, so I will wait for you. When we're finished, we can then double check. Now be careful when you're taking this off, because you might, in this particular case, on this flower, it might have a halo around these little bits here and here. So what I did was I just took one of the paper pieces up first, making sure you don't take the mask with you. That's it. And then I lifted one of the flower masks off slowly just to see how it was. Oh, actually, that's okay. I'm going to leave that. If you have a little tiny piece of white, I have a little tiny piece here from the halo, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's a little tiny piece where I haven't cut it properly. Then you can slightly move the mask and go back in, but cover up the base of whichever part of the card that you need to cover. So this little bit here, there's a tiny piece of white right here and there. So if I move it, so I will do it to show you, and then bring this bit back in again, Then I'm going to take the green and just feed a little bit of green in there. Just to take it down a little tag. There we go. Yeah, oh, it's not too bad. I'm going to leave it. And where my mask lifted, I've got a bit there as well, but I'm just going to leave this to show you. So let's clean up. You don't want this ink everywhere. Oops, am I going to put them on the floor for the minute? As good a place as any. And I know if a lot of ink and you want to spritz it and up, then please do so. Right. So I'll just wait till everybody's at that point. And then what I will be doing is extending my stem. So it's entirely up to you guys, but I'll wait. You can give me a thumbs up or let me know when you're at that point. I said it is quite a quick card. I doubt whether, well, we could stay for 2 hours chatting. What size pen is this one? 5. I think I'll use that one. So I'll just wait a little bit. And then you can let me know. So I think I might have done a slightly narrower strip this time, but it doesn't matter. It's just adding a little bit of colour. So if you've added more, great. Thank you, Susan. Right, let's just move some things out of the way. Are you impressed how tidy I am? Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Sue. I'll just wait a couple of minutes, it's fine. No rush. Not like is anybody going anywhere after this? So I hope you all had a nice Christmas as well. Thank you, Moya. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Nicola. So Sheila and Barbara, I'll give you a couple of minutes as well. Who's there? Hello, Helen. Oh, okay, Helen. I bet you find it as soon as we move on or something. You're going to move a bit of paper and you're going to find your mask again. That's all right. This really isn't a very complicated card, this one, I don't think. And I actually think my strip isn't straight either. After all that faffing around. No, it's not. Excellent. It will be fine for me to show you what it'll be great to show you how it will look. We go through the process, that's fine. As long as we have a white image, your white flower image, and a band of colour, we're great to be able to do what we need to do. So the next thing then, if you need to do this, is to draw in your stem. Now you may not need to, it depends on obviously on the size of your stamp. So look, I'm showing. So I'm just going to go for it. And it doesn't matter what shape you put it in. Hopefully I've got the kind of the right width, and I'm just going to take it down. There we go. Nobody's going to know. So I've just done that little bit there. And the next thing is going to be your sentiment. Now, if you have got a stamp to do your sentiment, position it where you want, then stamp it, thinking about where you're going to place it, obviously, where it fits best with you for your image. I've die cut these again, just to show you. I've got all different happy birthday stamps. I couldn't find one, because one I was looking for, more on the gold, on the other one, the black one, it's just like a little one to go through there. So I know I've got one. I just obviously haven't come across the stamp set with it. But I'm going to use the die pieces. And what I've done is, I don't know if you've already got them cut. I had 3. I've cut 3, so I've stuck 2 together. And then I'm just going to stick another one here so that you have some, yeah, you can use that one, Susan. The sentiment on the step. Yep. In a world where you can be anything, be kind, actually. If it fits into how you've laid your stamp out, then you can go with that. I'm just going to go with this for a minute. So you can do either or. The reason why I've got 3 cut out, they're a bit hairy, so that we balance them up, is to give it a little bit of depth without having to worry about using foam or foam tape or anything like that. So it raises it up slightly, and we can put it over the flower. You can make it higher so it goes over the bud, wherever you want to put it. I was thinking that I could reuse this card but for a birthday, but I'm not sure. I have to go and straighten up the line first. So whichever way you want to do it, if it's a sentiment or you've got your dies, I'm just going to layer this one up, and then I'm going to add them. So you just want a little bit of glue on this. Or if it's an intricate die, then you can use double-sided tape, which is probably the better thing to do here. But I've decided to go with this. Sometimes I find the double-sided tape is so strong that it doesn't give you any room to layer them up. Oh, that's fine. So just get a little bit, and then this die comes from the Clarity stamp set. The Clarity die is one of the frames. I'm just going to do that. And then I'm just going to line it up like that. And it helps, well, if you're going to lay it flat, it doesn't really matter, but it just gives it a bit of depth, and obviously it protects it in the post. And if there's any glue coming through, then I just wipe it out with my pokey tool. This glue dries clear, so it's not the be all and end all. If it does show as it's drying. There we go. And of course, you can emboss your sentiment. You can put glossy accents on your die cut if that's what you want to use. There's a number of different ways we can finish this card depending on what you've got at home. And I look forward to seeing what you do. Okay. And you have a choice. Before you glue the die cut down, it's a bit different on the sentiment because you're going to be stamping, unless you've done it as a label, as a tag kind of thing onto it. we're going to add some black splatters. And you can do this. The card I did first of all, this one is using gesso with my fan brush, and it's actually dried slightly grey. So it's using indigo blue gesso. This time I'm going to use my Posca pen, just so you can see it's a different, what happens when we do it differently. Except, is this a black card? No, it's not. I've got a silver one out. So, excuse me one moment. That's not a black pen. So I'm going to do a black Posca pen this time, she said. If I'm able to find it, of course. Nope. Or we might just go with anything and just go with whatever you've got to hand. Where's my black pen? No idea. So I'll grab the gesso. And I'll just do it with my fan brush. Is this my fan brush? Yeah. So make the fan brush wet. We'll just get a little bit of gesso out. Take it from the lid. Now, this is up to you. Do you want your flour to have any on your white bits of your flour? If you don't want it to get splattered, then now is the time to cover that up with a bit of tissue paper or something, a bit of kitchen towel, you know, whatever we want to do, just to cover that little bit up. If you don't want that to get splattered. And it's perfectly fine if you don't. Let's make this. Let's see if I got enough. So, oh, add a bit of splatter across it. There we go. So it's got a bit of water. Wow, that went everywhere. Make sure you miss the cap. There we go. It went everywhere. It's even gone up on my MacBook. I'll have to clean that up afterwards. So now that did not happen last time I did it. It was much more genteel. So clearly I put more water on there. That's okay. And I'm just going to wipe this up off here. Just get rid of that. Right. Hopefully you haven't got quite the same mess as myself. Got water droplets on mine, but they'll dry, so that's fine. There we go. And then you can add the die cut. Oh, no, before you do that, sorry, we're going to do the edge. So if you don't want to go straight down, then you can use your ruler. And guess what happened with mine last time I did it? Make sure your paint's dry first. And if not, give it a quick blast. Yep. So yeah, last time when I was doing the sample, what happened when I actually sharpened the edges? Yes, you got it in one. It slipped on the third one I did. So if you want to use it, then you can turn your ruler upside down. You have the beveled edge up and you can go under the beveled edge. I do prefer not to use a ruler, but let's just have a little look. Hold your, and then you can just draw the line. And this is going to be a deeper line this time round. That's okay. By going under the bevel slightly, or by having the bevel raised and leaning straight up against it, you're able to get further onto the card. There we go. There we go. And then you can add the base to the completed image to your card front first and then put the sentiment on, or you can do it the other way around depending on how your sentiment's going on. All right, so we can do that. So we can line that up. So I'm just going to glue this. I tend to be using more glue these days than tape to add the toppers. I don't know what your preference is, but whatever. Excellent. Yes, my fan's gone a bit OTT here, so hopefully you haven't gone quite so far over the top. Or whatever you've done, whatever colour. I suppose I could have used blue actually, or green on here. I've gone with the black. And I just pop that there. Actually, let's use the other nozzle, it's finer. Oh, good one, Nikki. You finished it already. Let's have a look. Right. I'm just going to dab that glue slightly so it won't have too much squidging out. And let's pop that one there. Get that little bit of glue up. There we go. So, should be straight. And that's the first card. So I look forward to seeing all of yours. In a moment. What's Nikki done? That's lovely, Nikki. Yep. That's really pretty. Like that. Okay. So I'll just give you all a few moments to finish up your card. And then we can look at the next card and what we're going to do with it. Okay. Yes, Nikki, I think it depends on the black that we use. Mine's Mine actually, this one isn't looking as grey as the other one is. So I've obviously put more on. But yeah, I think it depends on your paint. The Posca pens would be darker, I think, because it's pure acrylic going on there. There's no water added to it. I think that one's got a bit carried away, this one. I like this one. This one got a bit carried away with the older speckles. Okay. Give you a couple of minutes, everybody, to catch up. And then we'll have a look at this one. Yeah, it'd be nice to see yours finished one, Susan, with the pink on it. So how's everybody doing? I'll just give you a couple of minutes and then we can look at this card. This one's going to take a little bit longer because obviously we're going to be doing some painting. Which means it's all going to go dry, isn't it? It's all going to dry, quiet. It's all going to go quiet. I have 5 starlings just outside my window, up on the telephone wires. 1 on the pole and 4 on the wire. No, one's just legged it. But they're just sitting there rather imperiously. Oh, that looks nice. I like it. Nice one, Susan. Lovely. Okay. Let me know when you're ready to move on. There is no real hurry at all. Oh, Nikki, that's so lovely. Oh, are you near countryside? Well, I know we all are in this area, but you know what I mean. Are you near fields or something, your house? Is it near fields? We've got a lot of trees. The post lady's just gone by and I was hoping she was going to bring me a package because something's gone missing in the post. It's very annoying. No, near some fields. Oh, cool. Oh, how lovely. Do you hear it or can you actually see it as well? Right. So I'm just waiting. I'm just going to grab some more copy paper. I'm waiting for everyone to catch up. There's a tawny out the other. Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty exciting to have them that close. Oh, the starlings have all gone now. I usually have an amazing amount of sparrows in my garden. They sit in the tree at one side of it, and then when I do put the food out on the lawn, I think they all dive bomb that. Got a couple of blackbirds and a couple of robins. We have hundreds of starlings in a neighbour's nest. Pheasant comes in from the field for the sea. Oh, how lovely! Oh, that's lovely, Brenda, having that. Yes, I also have a cat that comes in my garden that doesn't treat it with respect. Shall we say it that way? Shall I say it that way? It's not my favourite animal in my garden. Let's just say that. It leaves me little messages. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I can use the grey. All right. Let me know how you're doing and whether you're ready. When you're ready to move on, just let me either say yes or thumbs up or whatever. Yeah, the problem is though, Susan, is that he leaves the little, or she, I don't know what it is, the cat leaves all the little presents over my lawn as well. So it's like, yeah, but I can't cover my entire lawn in eggshells. I have a spray that seems to be working actually. My neighbour gave it to me. She has dogs. Maybe I need to get a dog. That'll stop it, won't it? Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, Sue. It's not very friendly. It's not a very nice thing to do, is it? It should go and use its own litter tray, not my grass, not my lawn. Never mind. Thank you, Moya. Okay. So those of you that are finished, you get yourself ready for the next one. So did you get lots of crafty things for Christmas? Or get them in the sales after Christmas? I got some Jane Davenport watermark pens from Sue. That was lovely of her. Thank you, Nicola. Thanks, Brenda. We were lucky at Christmas. We were we were talking to our American side of the family. So we had one Zoom call with Florida. And then a couple of hours after that, we had a Zoom call with California, Los Angeles, and saw the baby, little Ensley. Oh, she's adorable. Adorable. So it'd be lovely to be able to see her in the flesh. I think she's probably going to be almost 1 year old before we can do that. But that will be nice. And Cassie and Lawrence, and obviously little Ensley, is moving back to Florida. So that'll be easier to see them when they get back. And of course, Gillian then is over the moon to have her daughter and granddaughter. And of course, her son-in-law, who is adorable. He's a really lovely guy. Back home, not too far from her. So she's looking forward to that. So, anybody else? How's Susan? How's your great niece doing? Anybody else? We had quite a few, didn't we? Jackie's granddaughter is doing well. I heard from her at Christmas. So her granddaughter is doing very well. That's good. All these new members. So how's everybody getting on? How are the rest? How are you? Nearly finished? Or I have a couple more minutes and then I'm going to make a start on the black card. Okay. And I'll go over a couple of different options as well. I think I want to show you some things. Oh my goodness me, really? Oh, Susan, you've got another one. That's exciting, isn't it? Thank you, Helen. Do you know if it's a niece or a nephew, Susan? Right. Is everybody kind of ready? If you're not, I hope you're very pretty close to finishing that first card, so it's not going to be too much. Another one in March. You've got a huge family. Oh, you've got a nephew coming this time. Okay. Right, let's have a look at the black card then. And as you can see, I've used some embossing and used the different mica kind of paints that we can use here. So this is the one I've done with, I think it's the Prairie Flowers, I think they're called, from Lindy Gang. So this is the colour. They look obviously different on black and white, but this is the colour, and it's right. Oh, I can't get it under the camera for you. It would help, wouldn't it? Can you see this? Right, there we go. So I can make it, you can see the light and how it actually catches the light. Now, they were those colours that I used there with the Prairie Flowers. Now, I also did another one where I tried different products. Prairie Wildflowers, which is what this flower is done in. And that little green there and that one there. So they're the Prairie Wildflowers. I also used the Luscious as well. So you can see the difference here. Hopefully you can see the difference. So these are the Luscious, this one and this one. And they're the different Luscious. So they work quite well as well. All different. Now, this one at the bottom is the Perfect Pearls micas. I've got to wait for you to catch up with me, haven't I? So here we go. Now, this flower here, this one here, is actually the berry one. What's it called? Berry Twist. So you can see it as blue, but it's actually pink in the pot. All right. Now I'm going to try and angle this so that it goes the pink, because I can see it in pink when I angle it a certain way on the black. Hopefully, is that showing more as pink? And then if I angle it another way, it looks blue on the black because it's an interference color. So can you see how that's working? So from the Perfect Pearl, some of the interference colors are going to give you different colors in the different light, which makes that really interesting as well. So depending on which ones you use, you're going to get similar looks, but it just, different. And this gold I used on here is Wow Embossing. The gold I used on this one is the indigo blue. I'm nodding instead of typing. Okay, then Sue, that's fine, Susan. So you can see. So I did the other ones as well, just so you could see them. Use the magicals just so you can get to see them. Ooh, your camera's weird now. I'm trying to get both in. I'll hold them steady. Just to give you an idea of the difference. So they're all mica powders, and it's just the way they've reacted. And as I said, the Perfect Pearls, because some of them are interference colours, and I think Luscious has got some interference colours as well, they will vary the colour in the light. So hopefully that gives you a nice idea of how they all work. As I said, I'm actually going to do something completely different. Not as in, I am still going to use them. But what I'm going to be using are the Industrial Chic Magicals, because I'm going to go for completely different colours. They're not even natural. Well, you could get a flower colour like this. I just want to do something completely different. So I thought, right, I'm going to go with these colours. You stick with whatever colours you want. Okay? I thought it'd be fun just to see what would happen if we use these. So you can see them, and you can see them as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is stamp our card. Now, because we're going to be using embossing powder, and we're going to be using VersaFine and also Luscious as well. Let's put some what do I do with it? Add it out. Talcum powder over our card, because that way we're not gonna, or use your anti-static bag, whatever. This is anti-static stuff as well, so that we can just try and stop the speckles going everywhere. So, and hopefully it will dust off. Mine did dust off on my cards. So, oh, this does smell. It's got a really lovely fragrance to it on this card. And actually having this powder on your card is going to be easier for you to see where you stamped. Another advantage, which would help. Okay. So, could you paint with metallic pigment inks? Yes, you can. Nicola, I have got metallic pencils and I have got metallic inks as well. But that was the thing I found in my stash. I didn't even realise I had them. And I've got paints, I've got inks, I've got pencils that you can try. You've got anything. I mean, I've gone with metallic so that it gives it a shine against the black. So certain paints will still show up on the black card. It's just giving it a little test first of all. So anything really that's got a bit of metallic to it or sparkle to it should be fine on the black, but always test it. So, which is really what we need to worry about, is whether it shows up on the black. And I do have some black card with me here, some spare black card here, because I'm actually going to test the magicals before I use them. And if they don't work, I'll quickly get the other ones out. But I think they'll be fine. So we can have a look at it. All right. So the first thing we're going to do then is decide on where we want to put our flowers. Decide on which one you want to start with first and come in at different angles. So you know, we could have them sitting like that, and then maybe one up here. We could have an even bigger spray coming up if you want a bigger option of the flower, and maybe just a little one at the other end. You could turn your card sideways, of course. So if you want to, concentrate on having them maybe, I don't know, something like this. And then you've got different options where you can place them, and then coming down the top. Whatever you want to do, think about the placement for a rough idea before we start stamping, how you're going to come into it. All right, I am going to do mine portrait wise. So I am going to stamp this way up in this instance, but we could do it anyway. The idea really is, it isn't really going to, so here's the one I did. So I suppose if you think about it, it would work, obviously not with a sentiment, but it would work portrait wise like this. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. So I'm just waiting on my iPad. I'm behind myself here. Can you actually? This is really hard to see in this light, isn't it? So you've got that way. So you've got different angles of the flowers coming around. That's what I'm trying to show. So that will be fine. That will work. So let's get stamping and see how. So you need to keep some paper underneath because you're going to be stamping off the edge. So when we come to add the embossing powder, we need to remember to move that piece of paper. Otherwise, it's going to stick to the Versa mark that's on the sheet underneath it. So let's decide. I'm going to go, which one should I go with first? This one. Doesn't really matter. And have a little play. And we want 2 of each stamp, or if you only got 2, then 3 of each, whatever it is. So we have a combination of numbers. So it's going to be one. How many did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I had 6 in different ways. So again, oh, okay, Nikki, I'll have a look at what you just sent through in a minute. So I'm just going to stamp that one there, I think. There we go. That's it. And then I'll put the other one going that way, actually. Let's go that way. Let's go up the side that way. And then I'm kind of doing them opposite to each other because I'll paint the same flower or the same image, the same colours. They kind of move around. There we go. So that quick, right? I'll have to wipe these down afterwards. And then let's see what we're going to do with this one. Is that going to come in like that and then like that, or is that going to go like that with that one like that? Let's put this echinacea in first, I think. So let's go higher up. Oh no, I didn't want the stem there. Oh well, that's all right. It can always be coming in front of the other flower, can't it? There we go. And then I'm going to do a smaller image. So if that's going to come in like that, oops. Well, we have used the other flower, not the other one. That's fine. We actually might switch this over. No, I don't think that'll work. No, right, we'll stay like that. It's looking like that at the minute. And then bring your other one in so it can fit in there. Just have a little one peeking through. There we go. And let's just see what we can get with this one. This is going to overlap slightly, but I don't. Hang on, let's have a look. Bring this one all the way in. Yeah, this is when you now need a mask, really. Right, in that case then, we're just going to do that like that. There we go. Coming in. We can put the message higher up on this one if you want, or if you want, you've got a smaller butterfly. There's a butterfly in this little set, so we could even just pop the butterfly in if you wanted to. And why not? Let's pop the butterfly in here. I'm going to put the butterfly in. Let's see how that stamps up. Let's see, where is he going to fly towards? There. There we go. A little bit thick. Great. So when you're at that point, we then need to add the embossing powder and then heat set. So I'll leave you to do that in your own time. I've got plenty of time to do this. Now I'm going to add silver this time. So I'm going to do it a silver rather than the gold, just so we can see the difference and the different kind of way that they can look. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on. Have a little look. If you haven't got enough on there. Try and keep it so that have a look rather and see if there's any stray speckles that you don't want. It may have caught it, so I've got a little bit here, so I'm going to get rid of them. Just a little brush. I'm just going to get rid of them off of there. Oh dear. I need my phone because of seeing those of you on WhatsApp. But a Boeing 737, believed to be carrying more than 50 people, has gone missing after takeoff in Indonesia. Gosh, this year is not getting off to a good start, is it really? Right, I think we're probably okay here. Must have a hair on my stamp right there. I think that's okay. Just caught the edge there. Right, brilliant. Oh. When you're happy, you've got all the embossing that you want on there. You've got it tidied. And then we're going to heat it. I'm just going to put this away first. Right. Let's move that out of the way then. And then I'm going to heat set. Now, as you know, I heat from the bottom, but you do whatever is best for you. So if it's from the top or the bottom, entirely up to you. So now I'm just going to heat this up now. I'm going to let it get warm first. And then bring it in. There we go. Let that dry or cool down. Oh, hang on. What's on that bit there? Missed a bit. Check to make sure it's all gone. It's all melted. There we go. Right, so you're just finishing that off then. I'm just going to have a quick look at what Nikki's put in there for the... Yeah, they look good, Nikki. They're it's the Spectrum Noir metallic pigment inks I've got that I actually haven't opened. because I found them in all the different colours. It's like, oh dear. Okay. It's not very good, is it, really? Right. Now, when it is dry, it should be dry. So after all that check-in, I've still got some speckles, but I don't think much too much. Then gently brush off the powder. Oops. There we go. Okay. So now the fun begins. So I'm not quite sure. I think painting them in steel is going to actually work here. Let's have a look. Let's find the cloth. There it is. Sorry, I'm just leaning across to get my water. Wait for a minute. Might probably end up painting with that. Let's have a look. I'm just going to test them. Ooh, it's quite a fabulous colour. Can we have a silver flower? So that's a yellowy colour. What colour is that's Rusty Lantern Lime. Right, we're going to need to put some more. I'll mix it up. Yeah, that looks all right. Wow. These are given a very different thing, but that's kind of what I wanted. Let's have a look at this then. This is the steel colour. I might have to flip to another colour. I'm thinking that might work for the centre, actually. We can have all different things. We're just going to have a look. How are you all getting on? Have you got your embossing done? Let me know. Those of you that have done your embossing, look at your colours and think about where you might want to do them. And I've just done some tests on here. One of these is going to be quite dark, actually. But I'm still going to go with them just for the minute, just to see what it looks like. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Nikki. There we go. Very different colours, as I said. I'm really going very industrial here. By the very name of this set, Industrial Chic. Get some stuff out of the way. I do like this quote by Einstein. Thank you, Nikki. Creativity is contagious. Pass it on. Don't you think that's cool? I like that. I like that quote. So now what we've got to decide is where you want to paint what colour. So now it's a free for all for you, because it's entirely up to you what you do with your flowers. As I said, I do kind of tend to do the same flower the same colour. If you've used the same flower all over, then think about mixing the colours up so they're not all next to each other. All right. So that's what I think I'm going to do. So let's make those of you. You should all be coming up soon to having your embossing done, but it's all right. Have a little start now on your painting. It's a little later than I hoped it would be, but we might not get everything finished, but I think we've done enough to get an idea of what's going on here. And we certainly should get the painting done. Oops. So now let's just gonna make up some of the inks. Put a little bit on your mat and add some water, whatever you're using, unless it's pencils, of course. And then let's have a look. I think I'm gonna have a sparkly poppy because mine's gonna go against the silver, so it's all gonna be a bit hit and miss. But hey, we all need to be able to experiment, don't we? Right. And then if you're not sure where your flower's going, like I'm not sure there which bit's the stem. Let's have a look. If you've got that's the stem. If you want if you've got your black index and if your line art kind of thing, what's the word? Then you can always look at that to make sure you're going where you think you're going. There we go. And then the other one is over here, isn't it? So get a bit more powder out. Don't drown it. You want your ink, you want your colouring medium wet enough to go over it, but you don't want it sopping wet because black card won't take the water in the same way unless you're using black watercolouring card. So we can. And the good thing with these is that they cover quite quickly. There we go. So Here we go. Excuse me. I have a tickle in my throat. I hope it's only a tickle in my throat. Right. So that's 2 of my flowers done. I'm going to do that little bit that's peeking out. Oh, I suppose you ought to put a little bit of silver on the butterfly now. Where are we going to put that? Since he's going to get a bit of all the colours, this butterfly. Let's do those little bits here. That little bit there and there, I think. Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to go on to the... Now, which colour am I going to do? I think I'll do those as the leaves. My echinacea, I'll do this colour. So this colour, I'm going to do... Oops. That's what I thought. Ooh, that's much wetter. That's going to be too wet. Right, let's see how we get on with that one then. Yeah, too much water. Ooh. Oh, I've got a lovely, my dirty cloth here where I'm wiping everything off is all sparkly because I keep wiping it off my brush. Don't want to waste it there, do we? There we go. And then it's interesting to see what this looks like when this is dry. And the embossing powder, although it's some of it's sitting on it, it should resist it, so we can... I don't think there's enough on there. As you can hear, I'm just chatting away to myself here. So it's very meditative, isn't it? And then on some of these, I'm going to have a little bit of this colour coming through, but then I'm going to put another colour underneath it because it's still going to be the other colour green coming through. Like that. There we go. So have you got anything exciting you can do at home this afternoon? I've got my ironing. I know how to live at the weekend. I usually do it Friday night, but I didn't do it last night. So that's what I shall be doing. There we go. Let's put some of this in here. Six. That's the body. I've got two more. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So let's do that one there as well then. There we go. I hope you're all doing okay. Right, and I think I'm going to do the echinacea in this one, aren't I? Yeah, so let's get some of this out then. Oops. Get a bit of water. Ooh, this water's a bit dirty. Have you ever looked at your water pot when you're wiping your paintbrush out, and all the glitter is just suspended in the water, floating around? Or is that just me? Don't know if that's got another colour still mixed in it. Let's have a look. I think that's all right. There we go. At least this way you don't have to worry too much about shadow. Although you could do if you're doing it with pencils. Gosh. There we go. That looks kind of an interesting colour. Not sure how well this is going to show up on the camera when I do this, but it is looking kind of cool in the flesh. I'll try and take pictures of it for you as well, just to see. So, Nikki Berry, if are you using your metallic pigments? Because if so, it's going to be really pretty. You're going to stick to the metallic colours like the silver and the gold. I can't remember what's in that packet now. Copper, bronze, or something. Or the pinks as well. There's other colours in it as well, isn't there? Right. So this has got a couple that can be done here. And we go here. Yes. Okay, now for the green. Stop to my brush. We're not doing that then. Let's just add some water from here. It's then going to be too wet again. Quite a bit of green. Let's have a look. Now, oh, I've missed a flower peeking through. Hmm. Wait till this dries and then I can. Check the. Okay, and then we've got. Yes, I don't think my brush is. My other brush. Now, there's 2 stems coming from. I'm going to have to put this on here to try and work out where that stem is. Yeah, it's not even on there. No, it's not. That's kind of cool then. That's still part of the leaf then. Okay. Hmm. Need a little bit more of the silver. Gonna pick it up. Oh, have you finished, Susan? Let's have a look and see what you've done. Right, and then we got a little bit down there. Right, okay then. Just got to do the centres. Oh, that's for the. Oh, this has to go on the butterfly. There we go. And let's do the centres of the flowers. Oh, I don't want all of it. Oh, blast. I'm off. No, you can't see it. I'm mixing up the other colour now. My last colour here now, just to do the centres. Which is also a bit wet. Right. Let's do the echinacea. Oh, I think that's what this is supposed to be. Now, if you didn't want a sparkly one on black, the Posca pens actually work as well on black. Some paint works on black. It's not the easiest of watercolour. The Gambi, what is it? The Tansy Gambi? Gansy Tambi? I can't remember what mine are. gone off on a tangent already. Well, Nicola, it wouldn't be a workshop with you if it didn't. If you didn't do that, I love it when you guys all go off on tangents. It's great. It's great. We all see different things, and we all learn lots of things, which is why I like how you go. Crikey, Susan, how did you get 2 done? Speedy Gonzalez, very nice. I like what you've done. And you've used the grasses too, haven't you? Which I haven't used yet. But they will be used next time. Excellent. That's very good. So, how close are you all to having something coloured in like that? Only probably a little better. My brush has gone a bit. I don't know if these are dry enough. I don't know. I'm going to leave it a minute because then... Oh, I didn't do my little body of my butterfly. There we go. That's quite good. Right, I think I can pop these back there. Little lids on. I think I also have these colours in the embossing powders as well. I'm sure I got them in the embossing powders. They're really cool. Now, I really shouldn't waste that. Let me grab a piece of white card and then you can see the difference if you've not seen these before. Let me do a little bit of water on here. Oh. This is going to be an interesting mix of colour here. Yeah, we can see the dominant colours here. I'll hold it up for you in a minute. I think I've lost the brown altogether. I've got a little bit of it down there. I think I'm going to have to wipe them up now. Ooh. Oh, that colour. Should have got my journal page, really. There we go. So those of you that have finished, you can actually see the colours on the white and on the black there. So you can see how different they are. Right. Far too fat. Oh dear. Dear Brenda. Oh, I see, Susan. You were ahead of the game completely. Yes, that would have been the sensible thing for me to do, really, wouldn't it, Susan? Put my paints in a paint palette, which is what I normally suggest to you. And so, yes. Oh, well, never mind. I haven't. See? Wasn't thinking. Was a good idea. It is a good idea to do that, though. So, obviously my white is a bit wetter because I spritzed it, but you can see how bright the colours are on the white, especially the lime, the teal. Well, no, these two are really dominant. This one is in there somewhere. A little bit of grey, a little bit of the silver, and then the little bit of the brown is over here. So why isn't this colour showing up then? I'll show you this on white as well. Just a little dab. Oh, that's that. Well, what's that colour then? Oh, that colour might be in there. That's that one. Anyway, they're fab colours. depending on what you want to do with them. I'm trying to use different things in my stash to give you some ideas, but I do like the Lindy Stamp Gang, I have to say. Right. Well, they're not Stamp Gang anymore. They're just called Lindy Gang, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. So how's everybody doing with their painting? How are we getting on? Yeah, this is going to look very different depending on the type of stamps you use as well. And there are stamps that you can buy that cover the whole page, aren't there? That you can just stamp the once, and then that gives a nice image as well. Got one of them. It's got a gap in the middle for a sentiment, but there we go. So how are we all doing? I'm going to see. I don't know if this is going to come off. Yeah, it is. It should come off the embossing powder. So the embossed line, some of this paint should come off of it because it shouldn't dry on it. So if you think you've got too much, see if it will come off. Give it a quick little wipe. Oh, you use Luscious, Nikki. Oh gosh, that's lovely. You've got the bee in there as well. That's really lovely. Super bright colours. So we can see that there's quite a lot of different things you can use on black card, which is why I wanted to bring in these, because I knew marvellous. Lovely. Now, when you finished your card, I mean, you might not want to do it straight away, or you might want to just, we will then going to layer it up on silver or gold or whatever colour you want. I'm going to layer it up on the silver. And I do have lost my silver sentiment. I did cut it out in silver, so it would probably sit over there, or I might not even put one on this. I kind of like it without. I don't know, what do you think? Oh, good, Moya, thank you. So there's the, let's just see. And it's really dry, you can give it a little bit of a polish, can't you, on the embossing powder? There we go. I don't think I'm going to put a sentiment on mine, actually, because this is where I want the little black, a little tiny black sentiment on silver or something. I think would work better. Oh dear, I can't answer you, my sweetheart. My cousin was ringing me. I'm going to have to ring her in a minute. So yeah, I know. I need to talk to her. I'll see what she wanted in a minute. So here we go. So we could pop that on the card when that's finished. What do you think about the sentiment? Would you put one on there or not? I'm interested in your opinion. Good edge in embossing powder. Edge what? The sentiment, Nikki? Or the edge of the card? What are you edging? Oh, if you don't have the Miri card, do you mean edging the... Yeah, I've just realised what you mean. Yes, you could. You could. You could do a rough edge with your Versamark, just take it round and emboss it again. And then you could have an edge if you don't have any, or you don't want to use the Miri card. I mean, the most sensible thing to do for this Miri card is to cut this middle out. But sometimes, you know... So there we go. We would sit it on like that. Yeah, let's put this up then, so we get a finished card for you. So let's put this on. Probably. I bet she's at my... Oh, I know why Sarah's ringing me. Okay, I'll just try and catch her in a minute. And then let's just pop this on there. And this is where I'm convinced my trimmer isn't straight. Maybe that's not too bad. Oh, I need to come down a fraction. There we do. I think that's all right. Food delivery arrived. Okay, Susan. I'm just gonna, if the others of you have got a couple of minutes, I'm just gonna show you what we're doing next week. Not next week, the week after. Still using the stamps that you've used today. Well, you don't have to, but because I'm using the set of, yeah, there we go. If I do it that, I don't think I want that on there. Nah. But I did the same with this die cut. So I cut one in Miri and two in black, just so that I like them. I just like them raised up. But in this instance, I'm not using it on the outside of the card. Don't know why this isn't sticking. What's Moya done? Lovely. They are very lovely, Moya. Gorgeous. What did you use? Perfect Pearls. Great. Right. So that's that. So those of you that are just finishing off, you can carry finishing off. That's fine. What I want to just a quick word with you, so you have an idea about where I'm going with this, although it's not by any means finished, as you will see, is that I want to do a journal page with the stamps. So that we come away from, and everything we do on the journal page, you can do on a card. But I thought we'd just bring it off of the card this next time, so that we're going to do something different. And the idea is that we're going to use background stamps. So because I've got the background stamps from Hobby Art, and I know some of you have these, I'm going to use these. However, it doesn't matter what kind of background stamps. And if you don't, the idea I've got here is that I'm going to use this circle stamp. It might change between now and the time I get to see you. Along in 3 places like this, if it fits. It might not fit. So I'm going to have a look, and I'm going to cut out the echinacea, and this is going to stay white when it goes on. So it's one of the last things. And then the different elements, I'm going to stamp in black around the card, or in the same color as the paint that I've used, because this is paint. Now I've used texture paste on here, except we're going to use gesso or white acrylic paint, because it's, one, it dries a lot quicker, and 2, I think it stands out more, and it's going to make it easier to do what I'm going to do on here. So I'm going to do some things. We're going to do some drawing with our fine liners. We'll use the different texts, and we're going to use different colors, and then the circles will be, or if I go this way, I might change my mind. This is where I'm going. It's either going to be one circle, like that kind of thing, with other images matching it, or you could just cut out an aperture that you can then ink up and then place your flower over, depending on what you want to do. And then I'm going to use different of these images here as well. Not sure I'm going to use the large one, but that's where I'm aiming for us to do next week. Hopefully that's okay with you all, so that we just do something different. And then if we get time, I will have a little card, quite straightforward card, to show you as well. I will have the card to show you, and I'll tell you how I've made it up, which was based on a card from Helen. I got a lovely Christmas card from Helen. I'm just going to show you. It's quite, I hope you don't mind me saying this, Helen, it's quite simply made, but I find it I really liked it. So I'm going to keep that in abeyance for the moment, but this is what we're going to concentrate on. So we're going to do something different. So when I say you're going to need some paints, you're going to need some gesso, white acrylic, if you don't want to use the gesso, but we can, because the acrylic might be a bit darker for your white as well, it'll stand out more. Some background stamps, they can be anything. If you've got the All and Create ones, go with the All and Create, the little squares, or any other background ones, anything like that. Any of your other backgrounds, if you've got Clarity's background stamps, they'll work as well. The journaling set, we've got stuff in there that you can use. If you want to use, because I've gone with circles, if you want to go with circles, then have an aperture, but I'll go into that when we've done it. Okay, so it's just different shapes. This is why I wanted to show you, because it's going to be easier for you now, if you have a look at this, to think, okay, she's going with different ideas around the backgrounds and how we're actually going to stamp them around. All right, I was doing something else. Do I have it handy? I'm not happy with it, but it will show you how I've used the stamps. Hang on a minute. We're not doing this. I was playing with an idea. We still might do this idea at some point, but not at the moment. But you can see, just ignore the coral stuff. That's the bit I don't like. Ignore the coral. But you can see that I've used the stamps. Now, this grid stamp here, I've used at different angles as well, or we can just use at the top and bottom. The splodgy stamp comes in a different colour. The text I've used with the inking colours. So that's the kind of thing we're going to do on the journal page, if that makes sense. Bringing in these stamps in different ways. There will be some black, and I am probably going to use the sentiment in this stamp set. So think about sentiment as well that would be appropriate for you. Okay, not a happy birthday one or anything, but in this one, it's going to be in a world where you can be anything, be kind. It could be anything you want to put up there. I might even find and come across another one that I might use. But that's the idea where we're going next week, if that in a fortnight, if that's okay with everybody, just to give you a different idea. So thank you very much for joining me today. Share what you've made on WhatsApp if you're in there, or on my Facebook group as well if you're in there. I know some of you are in both. Or you can just text me for those of you that aren't in the groups, so that I can see it. If you want me to share it anywhere, then send it to me and I'll share it in the WhatsApp group for you. Have a lovely fortnight before I see you again. Hope everything's okay with everybody, and thank you for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have, and I know that the colours are a bit funky on that one, on the silver one. So let's have a look. Let's just bring them all together. Except now I've lost my other card. Clear up, and I've buried it already. So here we go. So we've got is as to what's going. So thanks, guys, for sharing. Oh no, you can't see all the cards. So let's do that one and that one then, and then that one and that one. So just to give you an idea, it'd be good if I could use my overhead. You get all your mates just to subscribe, even if they never come along and watch it. The more subscriptions, the more chance I have of using the overhead. Okay, so thank you all very much indeed. Have a lovely fortnight. And I will see you again soon, and chat to those of you that I chat to during the week, whatever. If you're coming on, we're sharing stuff on WhatsApp and in Facebook and in Messenger and wherever. Chat to you soon. So take care, everybody, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.